We all know music moves an audience. It's wired into our emotions. But what about sound design? It's the hidden layers in film that goes beyond the score. It's what turns a video into an experience. One you just don't watch, but actually feel. In this video, I want to share with you a project where sound wasn't just supportive, it was foundational. Let's dive right in. On a recent corporate film project for a school, sound wasn't something that I just added at the end. It was where everything began. From the very first conversation, the client made it clear they wanted to showcase a day in the life of the campus, the energy, the diversity of activities, the vibrant rhythm of the student life. But their vision didn't start with the chaos of a busy school day. It started in stillness, with an image of the campus before sunrise. Quiet, peaceful, the sound of birds, the hum of a sleeping city. Well, that simple image gave me a foundation to build on, and an opportunity to take it even further. I wanted the contrast between the quiet morning and the unfolding day to be felt, not just seen. I wanted sound to be its own storytelling element, to create a full sensory experience for the viewers. So we crafted an opening that drew people in gently. Let's watch. The visual of the sprinklers could have been enough to convey early morning and quietness, but the sound of the sprinklers, especially when they're shutting off, let the viewers experience the stillness while also signaling that something is about to begin. Now, this opening shot set the tone for the rest of the film. I wanted audio to act as its own character, allowing the audience to experience the story using more of their senses.
Hello, team. That's good stuff. This is a French Revolution.
We filmed on campus for 3 days with a crew of 5 people. Myself, a camera operator / DP, an audio engineer, and 2 PAs. I told the audio engineer that I wanted him to capture high quality, isolated sound of whatever we were filming, but not just natural sound, specific elements clean and separated from ambient noise. So that meant he needed to put his microphone very, very close so that we could capture really high quality, isolated sound. For example, the sound of the sprinkler had to be re-recorded later. When we shot this scene, it's a wide shot, and we couldn't place the microphone close enough to the sprinkler. So our engineer had to crank the gain on the recorder, and what it did, it amplified all the ambient sound along with the sprinklers. And so we were left with a sound that was just a collection of very loud ambient noise. Take a listen. Because we couldn't easily control the sprinklers on campus, it was impossible for us to re-record the audio. So the solution was to restage it at my house. I just placed the microphone just a few inches away from the sprinklers, and I was able to just turn them on and off as I needed in order to capture the isolated sound of the sprinklers. In post-production, it was just a matter of layering multiple takes of that recording and timing it to matching the visuals of the sprinklers. Now, in many instances, the audio engineer had to restage what we had just shot so he could place the microphone very close to the action to capture only that specific sound. Now, it created some challenges in post-production. Even with the cameras and the audio recorder synced via timecode, the files simply didn't match. Fortunately, he's a great audio engineer. He recorded voice notes after each take, letting me know exactly what he had just captured. So at the end of a file, I would often hear something like, "This is the sound of a crayon on a piece of paper." This became very helpful in post-production. We ended up with about 227 different audio clips. After identifying a shot that I wanted to use, I was usually able to quickly find the corresponding audio file by searching for the timecode directly after the shot and confirming it with the audio notes. Now, why not use stock sound effects? It's a fair question. And the truth is, I did. I spent a good amount of time combing through online sound libraries and downloaded around 35 different sound effects. But in the end, I only used a handful. Most of them just simply did not work. The main issue with stock sound is that it's rarely a perfect match for what's happening on your screen. For example, we had a tight close-up of a car pulling up to drop off some student. We shot it during the actual drop-off, so it was pretty chaotic, and we ended up without a clean recording of the tire sound. Afterward, I tried every tire screech, roll, and brake sound I could find in stock libraries, but none of them match. Some stopped too hard, others included background noise like the engine revving or street sound. They all felt off. And that's when I really realized that I needed to just re-record it myself. So I actually shot a close-up of my own car in front of my house and was able to place the microphone just inches from the tire. That gave me complete control over the timing, the pace, and the feel. And the result was exactly what I needed. This is where the real value of recording your own sound comes in. It's not just about higher quality, it's about precision and intentionality. When we record our own audio, we're able to capture the exact sound for the exact moment with the perfect perspective. That level of control is nearly impossible to replicate with stock asset. Now, stock sound effects aren't useless, and I did use a few, like birds in the background or the school bell ringing, and some of the generic sports crowd noise worked well enough in places where visuals weren't tied to a specific action.
You've got to protect the ball first.
In the end, creating a compelling soundscape isn't just about having a lot of sounds, it's about having the right sounds. Sounds that are intentional, specific, and emotionally connected to your visuals. And that's what we aimed for, and it made all the difference in the world. Now, one of the keys to creating sounds that felt natural and truly drew the audience in was layering. A single isolated sound, even if recorded perfectly, can often feel flat or artificial when played on its own. It stands out in the wrong way, pulling attention and disrupting the immersion rather than enhancing it. The goal is for audio to be felt, not noticed. Ideally, the audience isn't consciously aware of many of the sounds. They're simply drawn deeper into the experience. Now, one of the best compliments I received from the client was that after watching the film a few times, they started to notice more and more of the sound design. They told me they rewatched the film several times specifically to discover new details, small sounds that just weren't obvious the first few times. And it added richness and meaning to the experience. And that's exactly what we're aiming for. I also decided to layer in some real voices, brief phrases, or sometimes single words that reinforce the school core value and daily life. For example, each morning, the head of the school and some members of the leadership team greet students as they arrive. Including snippets like "Good morning" or "Hello team" added a layer of authenticity and warmth.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello, team.
I used that same approach several times, like a teacher encouraging a student or a teacher speaking in a foreign language. Each small soundbite communicated something deeper about the school's culture, values, and their teaching methods. Now, these subtle layers of sound became a form of storytelling in themselves. They give context, emotions, and meaning that the visuals alone could not. And when done right, sound doesn't just support the film, it completes it. It creates atmosphere, builds emotion, and deepens the connection between the viewers and the story. It adds weight, presence, and life to the very frame.
That's good stuff.
The French Revolution is...
Great sound design isn't just a technical approach, it's an artistic decision. It's as much a part of the storytelling as the visuals or the dialogue. And when it's treated with the same level of care and intention, it has the power to transform your film from something that's simply watched into something that's felt. So don't treat sound as an afterthought. Treat it as a character, because when sound is crafted with intention, it doesn't just enhance your story, it defines the way your audience experiences it. Thanks for watching, and happy filming.